acting up on me. So let's try this again real quick. Let me know if it's broadcasting, because I didn't know what it was doing. It was kind of crazy. Check. Mall high salute. Let me know if y'all in here. Let me know if y'all tapped in real quick. Chop it up for a little minute before these football games that I want to catch come on. Hope everybody's blessed on this Saturday. If y'all want to chime in on what I'm going to talk about too. You there, Matthew? Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me, my bro. Let me know. Okay, we're going to do that like that. All right, let me put this right here. If anybody want to chime in on this subject, because it's kind of interesting the last couple of days, bro. I've been getting a lot of messages over my live, bro. Yeah, I can hear you. Okay. So the last live I did, it had a lot of people in prison. Did you see butt cheeks in the shower? Man, that's a crazy question. Like, did you really want to know that? That's a crazy question. I mean, I salute you for the question. Just don't go to prison. You'll never find out if you just don't go to the penitentiary, man. So it had people in an uproar, bro. And I got a lot of messages with people that just didn't agree, to the point Savage Sev got called a racist, and basically they put me under the label of basically, the Mexicans from California. I think them fools honestly thought that I was like a Sureño or something, bro. Because the comments and just the arguments, they're like, your people hate black, you hate blacks, you're racist. And I'm just like, I looked at the live and I went over it and I'm like, actually, there was nothing in the live that was on the verge of any racism. I'm against racism all the way around, homie. You know what I'm saying? He wants to make sure he sees Buzzy. Yeah, bro, that's not a good look, my homie. That's not a good look. I don't know. He came in with the crazy clutch comment. So before I say this, bro, before I start talking about this, first and foremost, if you ever come to my channel, man, and you ever just tap into my channel for the first time, do your research. Who Savage Sev is. Do your research. My background. I kind of explain my testimony, and my upbringing and different things about Savage Sev, homie. Because I had a lot of people come in, and because I called out some bullshit, and it was bullshit, bro. That's the fact of the matter. The topic was disrespecting somebody over their race and bringing disrespectful racial things label wise and slurs. That's uncalled for, especially when you're in a place of business, bro, and you are trying to build relations between different races, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna call that bullshit out, because I'm not an individual that is double standard, homie. You mess up and you show faulty ass actions. Yeah, I'm gonna call it out on both sides of the spectrum, because as people from the neighborhood, homie, and fools that go through the same struggles, you should never ever disrespect somebody because of their skin tone, bro, and their skin color. That's how I see it. I didn't deal with that bullshit when I grew up. I grew up for the individuals I was trying to argue about this and that, and basically put me in this category of being a Southerner. I don't even know where you got that, first and foremost, because there's no Southerners in my city, my state like that, in my neighborhood, homie. Never grew up with, Sureño politics, and don't even know nothing about that till I went to the penitentiary for the first time. That was when I actually kind of got introduced to, Sureños, bro, was the penitentiary. My neighborhood don't have Sureños. My neighborhood, if you really want to know, and I explained this, when I was growing up, it was 85, 90% black folks and only a couple Spanish families in the projects. So we grew up amongst each other. There was never, ever no racial shit going on in the projects when I was growing up. We didn't see that shit. We could care less about that shit. We didn't care about skin color, bro. We cared about how your heart was and if you was a real individual. Because I can tap in with anybody if they keep it thoroughbred and they're 100% real. I ain't got no problem with them, bro. I can actually, you know what I'm saying, have a conversation with anybody that's on some real time, homie. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna be double standards, bro. If I call out, you know what I'm saying, the Mexicanos for being disrespectful, because I think all racial shit is fucking bullshit. I think if you just hate somebody because of their skin color, and you don't really have a reason, I think all that shit is bullshit, homie. From both sides, from every aspect, homie, because it's 2025, bro. We got a lot of shit we're dealing with in this world, and everybody is on some fuckery shit, homie. Real shit. That's just the real fact that matter, homie. But I'm not gonna be the individual that calls out, you know what I'm saying, the bullshit that comes from one side and then see the fucking bullshit that comes from another side and see us hypocritical. I'm gonna be the individual that calls it out all the way around because I just don't agree with it on both sides, homie. That's the bottom line. I take fools that deal with that shit and put that as a spectrum of their identity. And I think that's some fuckery, homie. I think that shit's lame as fuck. You know, you gotta do your diligence, bro, and look at what my channel is about, homie. Cause I got people that I fuck with from every single ethnic group. Every single ethnic group. Let me explain something to people out there that just came on and started like trying to assassinate and come out directly disrespecting Savage Sev over some skin tone. Because I got called a taco. I got called Mexicans, where we, you know what I'm saying? You Mexicans, like blatantly just, you know what I'm saying? Trying to now just singleize me out to be this racist, bro. Saying that you hate us, you want to be us, but then you hate us, hatred, like, fool. You are stuck in a mindset as just, I could never comprehend, homie. Yeah, and you know, to bring up this aspect of like family members, and this is where the situation is funny to me. Bring up the older generation of like grandparents and stuff, bro, and say it's taught from hatred. Well, I'm gonna say like this: the older generation, homie, of every ethnic group went through different personal situations, so there might be some bad taste in the mouth of people, right? So there was a comment that was talking about grandparents of like Mexicans just blatantly hating black folks, right? I can just say this about this, bro. Like, I know old school black folks, grandparents that just had bad run-ins with white folks, and they just hate white folks because of bad situations, circumstances that occurred, homie. Yeah, in the neighborhoods that you're talking about, bro, to be honest, to be 100% real, them old school, when California and LA, when LA was predominantly black folks, bro, a lot of them old school Mexicans in them areas, when it was more predominantly black folks, went through a lot of stuff of being abused, being robbed, homie, vendors being robbed, bro. So of course, them old school, they're gonna have a bad taste. They went through a lot of shit when it was back in the day. So yeah, they got a lot of resentment. The younger generation is trying to tie gaps in between the races, bro. And it's like people won't let that shit go. So when I see a thing that's supposed to be entertainment for everybody, homie, and fools are disrespecting a ethnic group behind that shit, homie, and they're disrespecting blatantly, yeah, I'm gonna speak up on that shit because that shit was absolutely uncalled for. That was out of pocket. Don't mean I'm an individual that's racist, bro, because all of my family, homie, and everybody around me, I got family member bloodline that are black folks, bro. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in predominantly project housings that's all black folks, bro. I never seen that aspect of racial shit because we don't do that shit, homie. I could care less about that shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? In my project housing, bro, everybody was just family, bro. And everybody, I have fools that I spend the night with in fucking summer times being little ass kids, homie, and their family would take me in as their own, and my family would take them in as their own, bro. You know what I'm saying? So we never seen them aspects of being racial, homie, because we didn't play that shit in Denver, Colorado. We never had them racial aspects, them racial tensions. My grandma got robbed by them. That's why I do have problems with you. But you can't singleize out a whole race for that shit. That was some ignorant ass fools. And my point is, bro, is that the older generation went through a lot of traumas, homie. So of course there's resentment from the older generation. You can't blame, because they went through a lot of traumas. It's on the fools to break them barriers, bro. You know what I'm saying? Let me explain this, bro. I went to the penitentiary. You see my skin color, homie? You see my skin color? For the people that were calling me a taco and call me racist, and you Mexicans hate us, bro. I'm literally, my neighborhood's Crips, homie. So on the yard, when the Crips were at war, I was front lining for the Lokes, homie. And predominantly they're all black, homie. So I went to war. I caught fake sessions out here over some shit that homies did on the yard because of the black homies, right? If we want to say that shit, homie. I literally was called a race traitor. See, that's the hypocritical shit, bro. Is my whole life I've been called a race traitor, homie. My whole life, people done call me a race traitor just because my persona, just because my swag. And now, how does it flip from 5.2 seconds to being a race traitor because of the politics I ride with to now I'm racist? Does that even make sense at all? So the tunes change just because people don't want to hear this shit, bro. People don't want to hear this shit. People don't want to hear the truth in their actions, bro. I seen somebody say some shit like this. Oh, it's that show's just for trash talking. Nah, homie, it's for trash talking. It's for roasting. But you should never cross the line when you're doing business with people. You should never try to be disrespectful in any manner, homie, because right there in itself can be monument, because them racial aspects, they don't like each other out there. So there's been a lot of bloodshed and war, and you would think people would just keep that bullshit away because they're trying to actually weld ties together. But no, you got people so fucking ignorant, homie, that they bring that shit up, bro. And you know what that shit does? It pushes people in a corner, bro. It pushes people in a corner, homie. And it's the lamest shit you can do, homie. And for somebody to try to throw the blind eye because you're biased, I think that shit's lame as hell, homie. I think that shit's whack as hell. You know what I'm saying? What's the big deal? Now, if it was the other way around, homie, and there was Mexicanos on there, Spanish fools, saying anything that slightly came off racial, bro, there would have been an uproar, homie. There would have been an uproar from the same people that's saying it's not a big deal. Let's be real. That's just the truth. There would have been an uproar, homie. There would have been multiple people talking about this shit on the platforms and YouTube and TikTok, how some Mexicans said some slightly racial shit, and everybody would have been tripping off that shit, bro. So don't say what's the big deal, because there is a big deal, because we hear about this shit all the time, homie. And somebody try to call me out. Where's the video about the Mexicans saying the N-word and this and that, bro? I done said that multiple times, homie. I done said that multiple times, bro. I think fools literally didn't never use that lingo, and now everybody wants to use that lingo and act like something that they never were. The older generation didn't agree with that lingo, and I think they should have kept the roots and the culture. Don't use that lingo, bro, because for the longest, you didn't even like fools that use that lingo. You didn't like the food, so that shit is out of pocket all the way around, bro. And I think that shit sounds ratchet as hell. If it was never you, and you were fucking a southerner from California, bro, and you never used certain lingos, and now you do, you're not being true to yourself, because the 100% your OGs didn't like that shit, and you hated that shit, bro. That's why a lot of them Southerners didn't like the North, because they were saying they were trying to be black because of the lingos they used, homie. And now you got everybody using that lingo when the older generation never allowed that shit, never liked that shit, bro. I called that shit out tremendously. When that shit happened with the fool from Texas, everybody I talked to, I let them fools know, homie. I said this. That fool was out of pocket for telling them fools, you ain't gonna do nothing. And he should have fucking got his mouth wired for that shit, bro. He should have got his jaw wired for that shit, bro, because he told everybody, you're not going to do anything. And he said that shit trying to cause controversy and say, I'm the hardest in this motherfucker, bro. Excuse my language, bro, but I don't like to be labeled some shit that I'm not, because y'all fools don't know my story, homie. Y'all fools are just coming in. You should do your research who you talking to, homie. Because that's the fact of the matter is, bro. I don't play double standards on this shit. I get tired of the racial shit all together, homie. I get tired of that shit because we're all just living in this box trying to survive, homie. And if you're from poverty, you all went through the same shit. If you're from poverty, it doesn't matter if you're black folks, Mexican, and even the fools from the trailer parks. We all go through some crazy shit, homie. And fools is fighting each other and tripping off the bullshit, bro. But I can't just sit back and just because of this and throw a blind eye to the ridiculousness of that shit, bro. Because these are the same fools that were crying about all that shit, bro. But they throw a blind eye to when it's disrespectful to other people, homie. They throw a blind eye and then they don't want people to call that shit out. Nah, fool. Because I got Mexican family that's been disrespected over some racial shit also, homie. I got family that are Mexicanos, homie, an old school generation in my family that over racial stuff, bro. And just because they were Mexicanos, bro, they got disrespected, homie. That's you. If you, regardless of what side you're on, bro, that does not feel good, homie. I've been disrespected in my face over racial stuff before, bro. And I'm gonna tell you like this, homie. Regardless, playing or not, mocking and this and just throwing subliminals, that stuff does not make a person feel good, homie. Let them know, Sev. You know what it is, Rada. I'm just trying to keep it real, bro, because I don't know how I went from being a race trader and wanting to be black my whole life to now I'm racist, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because people they just come and say the craziest things, homie. There's a lot of people in the old school days that had a lot of hatred towards each other, homie. Even some of my family members back in the day, they had a lot of run-ins with each other and have traumas, but it goes to both sides, bro, of the spectrum. Both sides of the spectrum, they've been disrespected. The older generation has been disrespected by these people. I could bring up many different situations with older people in my family that's been disrespected in certain neighborhoods because they were Mexicano, bro. You understand that? And don't say it's not because of the aspect of a racial thing. Yeah, bro, they seen families that were in the neighborhood, bro, and they got their shit robbed because they were Mexicanos. Coming back to the grapevine, them tacos, them spits, them webbacks, bro. Like, come on, bro. Stop playing with it, homie. Because there's people that are ignorant on both sides, and it's just dumb, homie. When we should all just be like this, really, to be truthful, because we all go through them struggles, homie. We all go through them struggles. But back to the story that I was telling, homie. When I hit that yard, homie, you got to understand. The revolution, I was on war front line for the revolution, bro. And predominantly it's the black homies, right? Predominantly, homie, they call me a race trader because of that. But if I was racist, I would have never even rolled with that shit, homie. But I don't see color, homie. So I earned battle scars because of that shit. Did time on the yards, the compounds, and I never got checked in and PC'd off at any fucking yard, homie. You know what I'm saying? So there's no way in hell that Savage Seb could be racist. My niece is mixed. My family, I got family members of all shades, bro. There's no way in hell. So I appreciate it if you just didn't go out your way to try to call me racist, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know you fools was all banned. You didn't want to hear that shit, but it's the truth, homie. It's the reality, homie. Hey, what's up, Mom? How you doing? Mall high salute. I don't like these eggers using the lingo. I call it out all the time. It's a horrible look. Even Mexicans actually despise that. You know, I'm gonna say it like this, homie. I said this before this live. I grew up in the projects of the east side of Denver, homie, and predominantly at one time it was 85 to 90% black folks, and there was some Spanish families mixed in. My family's one of the bigger. I have both sides of my family is both of the bigger families in the east side, the Garcias and the Cisneros, right? Grew up in East Denver, homie. And that was the lingo that Project Babies used. If you went over there, we didn't have the SA swag and culture and all that shit. There was no essays in the hood, homie. It was black folks and a little bit of Spanish folks, bro. So we all had the same lingo. I told this story before. That used to be in my lingo a lot because it's environment. That's all we heard. It was just normal to us, bro. And at that time, nobody ever said, that's the wrong way to talk. That's not how you talk. We just said that shit, and we were down to fight over that shit all the time, homie. Ain't nobody could tell me not to use that shit because I'm down to fight for who I am. I'm not trying to be nobody else but myself, bro. That's who I am. I'm a project baby, homie. Eastside Denver. Eastside Denver was the only, to be honest, in the 90s and early 2000s, bro. Eastside Denver Mexicanos, because we had a mixture. That was the only hood in Denver that had black folks and Mexicans in the same neighborhood. Homie, we were called black lovers, and they called us, y'all are trying to be black, because all the Mexicans had that lingo. It was an East Side thing. It didn't have nothing to do with anything else but an East Side thing, homie. Everybody else's hood, the West, the North, and the South, they kept it more predominantly black folks because there was more, predominantly Chicanos and Mexicanos were in them hoods. 95 to 97% of them fools was all Mexicanos, bro. The East Side was the only hood that the Mexicans actually rocked with them project ways, bro. But we grew up, and that's just how we talk. That's what we did, and ain't nobody could tell us any different because we were them East Side Mexicans that were riding for the East Side, homie. My cousins is all fools that were braided down in the projects because that was just the aura of the East Side, homie. So when I went to the county jail, homie, I went to the county jail, bro, and I seen how detrimental it was to older generation black fools in my neighborhood. They didn't even like the younger black fools to say that in the county because they felt it was disrespectful. It was that deep to people, bro. So I kind of took it out of my vocabulary. And at times when I get riled up, you might hear a slip, but it was so embedded in me at one time. That's just how we talk, Tommy. But we were the only fools that really talked like that in the 90s and the early 2000s was them East Side Mexicans, from the Odies all the way to the ESGs, to the Deuce Five Raiders, to the Curtis Park Boys, to Brick Cities, all the trades, the Chickies, everybody talked like that in the East Side. It didn't even matter, bro. But we were the only ones that really talked like that all the way around, homie. We were the only Mexicanos and Chicanos that you really use that type of lingo. And everybody else didn't like the East Side because of that shit. Everybody else, the older generations, they were like, nah, that's not how the West Side gets down. Old school Chicanos will tell you, that's not how we talk, bro. We're Chicanos. We got the pride. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. North Side fools, we got that pride. Keep it all Chicano, homie. And I respected them fools for that shit 100%, bro, because they kept it to their morals and values. They kept it to who they were. Brown pride, homie. Shout out to them fools. But nowadays, everybody, bro. And this is the shit that gets me. And this is why when we talk about these subjects, homie, I'm being truthful. Everybody, even the fools that never, ever, ever even push that type of lingo and that swag and that project ways, bro. Now everybody uses it, bro. And everybody, from just regular Chicanos to Sureños, homie. And the Sureños, they were like fools that hated that shit. They were the most fools that kept it thorough to the Raza, bro. The essays, right? They were thoroughbreds to that shit. And I could only respect them fools because they kept it thorough to their culture, bro. But now you have fools that dibble and dabble in the younger generations. They're going to do whatever they're going to do. That's mind-blowing to me because a lot of them fools didn't want that style, that aspect. That's mind-blowing. And there was, and this is what I was saying. This is why people were mad, is because I'm saying like this, to be 100% truthful, homie. There was a lot of bloodshed between certain neighborhoods, bro, between Sureños and Crips, between 18th Street and the Bloods, right? And a lot of fools died, but I'm not saying every Sureño hood was racist, because there was Sureño hoods, and this is what this fool tried to tell me, every Sureño hood was racist. Nah, bro. There are certain Sureño hoods that still have relations with black folks in these neighborhoods, but it was gang warfare, bro, so it made it look like a big-ass race war. It made it look like a race war. You had 18 streeters, bro, that mess with some of the Coast Crips, that mess with Crips. They don't have war with Crips because their main rivals is the Bloods. You had Florencia. They messed with the Damus because their main rivals was Coast Crip. And you had 18th Street. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's different neighborhoods that mess with each other that are black neighborhoods and Mexican neighborhoods. Now, you have the fools that are extremists, though, like the Longos from Long Beach. They just hate black fools. But you can't label that every single Sureño hood racist, bro. There's a lot of shit that goes into that shit, bro. So what I'm trying to tell everybody, because I got called a racist, bro, to speaking up for some shit that's very it just disturbed me, homie. It disturbed me because it was racist towards a little Mexican fool, and he wasn't trying to be racist, bro. And they just got on him, started disrespecting his race and this and that. And it's like, bro, after all that bloodshed, and when the Coast Crips and the Florencias kind of called a truce, bro, and they kind of knocked that off to try to better the fucking neighborhoods out there. And they welded some shit together that you don't understand, homie. For years, these fools was killing each other, bro. There was a lot of bloodshed. A lot of people went to the penitentiary over that war, homie. You understand that? And when fools are trying to make peace, you have to do everything in your barrier to respect, homie. And this broad, that's a dyke, homie, is on the No Jumper show. And she ain't even ever probably, I don't even know. I'm not going to judge her, but she over here just disrespected a little Mexican fool. If them fools wanted to trip and cause some shit over that shit, and fools that are active wanted to get involved, they kind of built their own bed to make that shit pop off. And it's uncalled for, homie. It's uncalled for. So when I point that out, you got a lot of people thinking that I was jumping on the southerner side, bro, and just saying, hey, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm telling you, from a real fool that lost fools in these streets over pointless shit, you got to try to knock that shit off or you don't lose a whole different generation, bro. And for anybody that's racial, bro, in my opinion, I think you need a reality check and get your priorities straight. Don't come on my channel, though, saying that I'm a racist, bro. Because if you know my background and you ever did information on me, homie, you know who I ride with. You know, when I'm in the penitentiary, homie, I got a target on my back for riding with the politics that I ride with, homie. When I was on the yard for as long as I would, as I was, homie, I got a target on my back and called a race traitor for going to war and carrying on baggage of keyways that I didn't even have no situation. But when it was popping, I was the first fool on that front line, homie. So I don't appreciate being called a racist and you Mexicans hate this and you don't categorize me as none of that shit, fool. You understand that? Shout out to the family, man. Shout out to the homies, bro. But yeah, bro, I wanted to, I'm just going to be authentic, homie. I got to be real. That shit was on call for, homie. She got roasted. And I know somebody was like, what's the big deal? The big deal is, bro, is the little dude roasted her ass, homie. And she got mad because he said that she ain't a stepfather. She not a stepfather. And she went straight to disrespected Mexicans. And I know it sounded funny. And just like the full Almighty Suspect, this is where it really just was weird, is because Almighty Suspect said, thank you guys for not saying anything racist because I would have had to get involved. Meaning if they would have if they started being disrespectful in any manner on some race shit, all them fools would have got at them little dudes and literally jumped on them dudes over this broad that just got disrespectful. I mean, that's all I was saying, Rodders. Mall high salute to the homies, man. Hey, I see you. What's up with it, CEO? How you guys doing, man? What's up with it, babyface Loaster? What's good with you? Yeah, just like that too, Rodder. You know, just like that, homie. I seen it in the Watts area too, homie. Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just had to put that out there, bro, because I had everybody coming at me and acting like I'm a Southerner, bro. They thought I was a Southerner for just saying that little shit, bro. I was on the yard, homie, and I seen homies disrespect other cars in prison settings. Disrespect don't go far. And I never agreed with that shit. You have to give respect to get respect, homie. And there was some homies that were so active, didn't give about respect whatsoever. In that gangbanging mindset, I understand it too, because it's us versus everybody. If you ain't from the hood, you're no good, bro. That's how the mindset goes. So I could care less how you feel about it. And if you tripping, we could get active. I know how that mindset goes. But me growing up too, I understand. If you want respect, you gotta give respect, homie. Disrespect to get you killed. Disrespect will get you killed in this life, bro. So that's what I had to say, man. Mall high salute. Hope you guys are good, bro. Hope everybody's good. Yeah, hell yeah. Project babies, my Rada. Project babies, my homie. Shout out to the homie Sparky, man. Shout out to all the project babies, man. You know, I had to say that, bro. I had to speak up on that shit because I definitely, to the people that came across the channel and only heard that aspect, and I had a lot of people. If you go check the last live, I was arguing with people, bro. And the reality is, bro, my point is, bro, is like, learn to respect people, homie. Learn to respect each other, fool. Learn to respect each other. You know what I'm saying? Like in the aspect of gangbanging, you respect the headhunters from your enemigos, bro. Even real fools is in the trenches that know the fools that really put it down on the other side. You have to respect them in a manner, bro, because it comes with that game. The fools I know that is really fully active from the other side that I always been at war with, I don't badmouth them fools in a bad manner because I know them fools get down, homie. You know what I'm saying? Respect is the biggest thing, bro. And there's no respect. No respect. Everybody runs with their heads cut off nowadays, bro. There's no respect. And this shit right here, this is a thing, bro. They watch that shit. And that's another thing. They watch that shit, no jumper, homie. And all them fools that think that shit is funny, they think they could just disrespect people in life. So all the youngsters that watch that shit and think it's entertainment, they're going to go out and disrespect. They're going to show these little fools that it's all right to disrespect. And then that disrespect could liable to kill a little youngster, and them little young fools that get killed over disrespect, and everybody's crying, oh, well, it was some racial shit, and it was this, when it all could have been eliminated, homie. It all could have been eliminated, Radas, if you just respect. Because my thing is, homie, if you want to get down to the nitty gritty, the little youngster that's probably on there, homie, he went against his own judgment. His people probably said, don't go mess with them fools because of the skin color, right? A lot of fools will say that shit, bro, because they don't know. They don't even know what he might be up against. All they know is their family been targeted. All they know is some grimy shit, and it goes both ways, right? And he went against his better judgment to go over there and be on a platform, homie, and try to wow shit together, bro. And you got a broad over here disrespecting the whole culture, bro. Disrespecting a whole ethnic group. Disrespecting this fool and saying, go to Home Depot and go fix my roof and I'm going to call ICE on you, bro. When everybody knows the dramatic shit that's going on with ICE, you think that was a good play? And a lot of them fools were just laughing in there, homie. He was pushed in a corner. Little fool was pushed in this corner. Put your fucking feet in his shoes, bro. He was pushed in the corner because if he says anything that comes off remotely racial, them fools is gonna jump on that little fool's head, bro. And I fell for that little fool, bro, because nobody likes to be in that situation, bro. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, honestly, bro, is loyalty. I feel like loyalty, because we don't have loyalty. I grew up off of loyalty. I only say that because of this, bro. There's certain circles of people I just never could ever respect. So loyalty to me is one of the biggest things, bro. Loyalty, homie. But there's not a lot of loyalty. And like the homie said, homie, and this is why I like my Radas, bro, that can look at shit in different ways and don't play this bias shit. Bro, and call that shit out. The homie said that wasn't a good representation of the community. Hey, what's up, Lady Momo? How you doing? Yeah, that's just wild. Shout out. Nah, he said that's not a good representation because it's not, bro. That's just shows ratchetness. That dyke, homie, that dyke that's been persecuted her whole life just did exactly what she's probably went through her whole life, being persecuted over her identity. And she was the first to actually just disrespect somebody in that matter. That's ratchet as hell, bro. Yeah, you're not a woman, homie. You're not a woman, bro. You can never be a stepfather or a dad, bro. You're a woman, homie, and that's what she didn't like about that shit. And then the masculinity out of her, bro, acting like she could put hands on a dude, homie. She lucky she didn't get jawed in her mouth. She lucky somebody didn't just go in her gums, homie. Somebody just punch her ass up for putting hands on a grown-ass man, fool. Yeah, Adam 22, he's an idiot. Anybody that just likes that shit, bro, anybody that just likes that shit, homie. Is anybody that just goes on that shit in the entertainment, Adam 22, a culture vulture, bro. He shouldn't even be privileged to even get the full aspect of politicking, bro. He shouldn't get that privilege because he's just a dude that's a civilian, homie. And he thinks he knows now all this information and thinks he got some type of clout to disrespect anybody in anybody's manner. He brings enemies to a platform where the other enemy is going to be, and you could get caught slipping over there, go to jail. But all these fools they love to be a part of that shit, bro. And it's just mind-blowing to me. Mind-blowing to me. If you live that life, you underestimate, yeah, man. Yeah, but I just wanted to come say what's up, man. Yeah, he's a mark for that, bro. He's a mark, homie. Like I say, he'll sell his daughter into prostitution, my homie. He'll sell his wife. If he did it to his wife, he'll do that to his daughter. He a clown for sure, bro. And he gets off on that shit. And the real ones, bro. The real ones should never, ever, ever. It's not to be seen, bro. Code of silence. They should have kept that shit on the under. And he just thinks that he got something. He thinks that he's doing something. Shit, I'm relaxing, my brother. We got the Broncos playing tonight. You know, Broncos country preseason. We're going to cook it up a little bit. And then tomorrow, Sunday, I'm about to go visit moms and, you know what I'm saying, do a little dinner with moms. I just try to relax, bro, because I just literally be having these long-ass weeks. And I just be trying to chill, homie. I'm getting older. I'm 40 years old, too, my brother. I'm 40 years old, man. So, you know, I just be trying to relax, bro. That was for Adam bringing North to LA for the internet. Yeah, somebody gonna die off the hands of that bullshit, bro. I feel you. Yeah, man. I'm just trying to relax, trying to chill. You know, last I'll talk about that subject matter, man. Somebody asked me what I thought about it. That's why I even spoke up on it. And you know, I spoke from a pure and genuine how I felt about that shit, bro. I felt like she was out of control, and she crossed the line to disrespect a whole aspect of people. When you say that shit, you might be saying, I'm just basically saying it to him, but a lot of people are going to take that as disrespect. And if youngsters and people that just feel like disrespect, they want to push the line, it's just going to cause a whole problem, bro. I'm going to be 38, so I feel you. Just be slow motion, just kicking it with the family, homie. Hey, I'm going to be real with you, Marada. I'm going to be real with you 100, bro. 40 years old, I don't have no energy to be doing anything else but relaxing, fool. You know what I'm saying? I just want to relax half of the time, my homie. I think being young and then just having a fast-paced life in the younger, it just wore my energy out for 40, homie. I'm trying to get my energy back, man. I'm trying to get that energy back, my bro. You know, I was supposed to go to actually the tailgate. I ain't even gonna be able to make that aspect, bro. But hey, we got a lot of shit going on at the stadium for the season, man. We got a lot of stuff. So if you guys want to pull up, Bronco gang, man, y'all come, you know, mess with your boy Savage. We got barbecues, drink, good football, relax it. Football season's here, bro, and it's gonna be jam-packed for you, boy Savage, definitely. Yeah, nah, real shit, bro. And people always ask me, like, bro, you an old ass man. Yeah, homie, I really feel I am. I really feel 40 years old is, you know what I'm saying? It's something, it's an age that we ain't post, some of us ain't supposed to be touching. Definitely, bro. You know, so like 40 years old is just the kickback, relaxation, bro. You know, 20s and all that, early age, the teens, bro. Like that shit wore me out. Fast paced, emotional, traumatized. That fool's a mark, bro. He a mark for that shit though. He a mark all the way. He should have just kept to doing that type of content, my bro. You know, he should have kept to doing that type of content. You know, but he's not a man fearing, he's not a man that fears God, bro. He thinks he's above a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like he thinks he's above a lot of shit, bro. So he just does what he wants. But we already know, homie, you make your bed, shit's gonna catch up to a person. Are you gonna have a situation where almost the situation he had when them fools beat the shit out of old dude off of the strength of him? He gonna be in some shit one day, bro, where he can't fight his way out of it. You know what I'm saying? That's terrible. That's why that's why I just lost all the respect for him. On top of him trying to extort the gang culture, now he letting his baby's mom, his wife, get smashed by the silverback of the porn industry, Lovejoy, and he just agreed with that. He just liked that. He allowed that. It just made me see he don't have no morals and values, bro, and I can't rock with that shit. I can't rock with him, homie. That turned me off completely, bro. And it's funny because everybody thought that shit was craziness. I thought that shit's despicable. His wife don't even respect that guy, bro. Don't even respect him. She don't have no respect for him. He's a beta, homie. A beta, a weirdo. You know? Hey, bro, I know you've been in prison and shit. I was just gonna ask you, why do you think they banned the book called 48 Laws of Power? Because it tells you a lot, gives you like, it feeds your mind, my brother. It feeds your mind. Like them books, everybody used to read them, bro. It feeds your mind. It puts you on point. I think when you locked up, bro, they want you to just not be educated. They don't want you to educate yourself. They don't want you to better yourself. So that's why they have a lot of situations, bro. They create these environments. They create these environments for everybody just sidetracks themselves with all the prison politics. And they'll do that shit purposely, bro, for you don't want to better yourself. That's why you'll see a lot of people come out the penitentiary and they're not worried about bettering themselves. They're worried about prison lifestyle and being convicts. Because I said this before, there's a difference between just being an inmate and a convict. Convicts are people that just, it's their world, bro. They can do that shit. They can leave prison and come back to prison, the penitentiary, and they can be comfortable and they'll do that shit their whole life. They live by a convict mindset. I never was a convict, bro. I did prison time, but I was just a fool passing through. And I told myself I was never going back to the penitentiary. And I wanted to better myself. But a lot of fools get tied up in this convict mindset, prison, and they glorify the penitentiary. That's why you got a lot of fools that talk about that shit like it's just the funnest thing to do. And they don't educate themselves. So it's the truth is, bro, is no, they don't want people to educate themselves. That's why you might be going to GED, homie. You might be going to GED in the penitentiary if somebody gets into it and they'll lock down the whole facility for weeks at a time, and you can't even go to class to get your GED, and they don't have no remorse for it. So you kind of separate from now going to school and trying to get your GED. That's why I never got my GED, because every time I was really focused in on that shit, something would happen, bro, and it would be like, you're being on lockdown for 3 weeks, and I just gave up on it. I gave up on the GED mindset and trying to get my GED, you know? So yeah, it's a reality, homie. It's like they want people to be at each other's necks in there, homie. They do. They make the environment very stressful and hard. So that's why prison's such a stressful place, because it ain't about no fun and games and smiling and this. It's cold hard facts. It's just a gang of miserable ass people that just don't have nothing to live for. And they give up. A lot of people in prison gave up. That's why you hear about people getting smoked out in there and overdosing on heroin, and because that's their go-to. There's nothing else to live for. So a person like me that did time, bro, that's why I've kind of created a voice to try to teach kids not to go to penitentiary, teach kids to try to stay away from gang life, bro. Because at 40 years old, bro, I understand now, homie. That shit is smoke and mirrors. A lot of smoke and mirrors with the gangbanging aspect. It doesn't do nothing for nobody. You don't make $1 million off that shit. And if you're making $1 million in the streets, it's gonna come to an end eventually, unless you're a snitch. Unless you a snitch, money, the fast money and getting bread in the streets, unless you're a snitch, you're gonna get cracked, homie. Because there's too many informants out here. There's too many snitches in these streets, bro. And if they get hammed up for anything and they got the drop on you to reduce time, they're gonna put you in a situation to snitch you off, to reduce their time. And the cold part about it might be your bestest homie. It might be your friend. It might be somebody you grew up with, somebody from your neighborhood, your hood. But the reality is, bro, no, in this cutthroat game we call politicking, I don't care if you say the homies love me, those are my brothers. Everybody has this mindset. It's me before them. So your brother will turn on you in an instance. That's why I go back to that loyalty aspect, bro. There's not people that are breeded with loyalty. There's not people that are breeded with loyalty. You look at their whole characteristics and they're not loyal. They don't have nothing loyal about them. They don't even know what that word even means, because loyalty done went out the window a long time ago with this politicking shit. We want to have terms. We want to have terms like this, bro. We want to have terms like this. Your worst enemy with Crippin is another Crip, homie. That's a real thing, bro. If there was loyalty in this organization, homie, that wouldn't be even a term. That wouldn't even be a thought. But reality is, homie, and there's certain places that Crips beef with Crips more than they beef with Don Moves. And they don't even focus in on the Bloods at all. There's places where the Bloods focus in more on other Bloods than Crips. That's the reality, bro. And that's backwards in itself, homie. So, yeah. Yeah. And then really to think about with me, because my loyalty, and I speak up on this, my loyalty never let me walk away from, even when I got the shit end of the stick, I still kept it 10 toes down with this Crippin', homie. But I knew I was getting done wrong, but my loyalty would never ever just let me motherfucking walk away, because Crippin' was in me, homie, and I was gonna go extra for it, right? But you got these idiots out here that don't even know what they signing up for. And then they get on that yard and they see what it really is. And then you got fools bustering up and going to other cars because these fools kind of embraced them. But they was Crips and Don Moves on the streets, and they're not black folks, bro. But they go to the penitentiary and they see that you're not going to get embraced by every Crip or Don Move if you're banging in politics, and they can't handle that shit because Crippin' and Don Mooing wasn't really in them. That's the reality, homie. So I try to show that perspective, homie. It's not what you want. It's not what you want, homie. Because unless you're just psycho in the brain, people will be like, bro, why do I want to be a part of that shit? But I'm trying to tell you, you don't need to be a part of that shit. Let it go. Let it go. You don't need to be a part of that shit. You don't need to join them type of politics. You don't even need to be banging. Go get your education, fool. Go get your education. Because that shit ain't going to do nothing for you in the long run. It ain't going to do nothing for you in the long run when you older at 40 years old and you think that's all life is gang banging. When you're trying to get a good ass job, you think you could put, I was a gang banger on your application? Nah, hell nah, fool. Hell nah. They're going to look at you like you an idiot. So the best bet is just to get your education and build a business and do stuff for your family. And you know what I'm saying? Like real shit, man. I think they divorced. Well, yeah. It was before time, bro. She got slaughtered by the porn savage, bro. Lovejoy. Yeah. Yeah. Not real shit. Real shit, bro. And I just chopping it up, bro. Like I seen a gang of my last live jest like that we were on, bro. There was a lot of people in my comment section tripping, saying I'm a racist. So I had to come speak up. I mean, I just spoke about the reality of disrespect. That's all it was. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I even started this live, bro. And I had to get some shit off the chest. I mean, but yeah, all I can say to a lot of people that come across the channel, go do the research, homie. Go watch my videos. Maybe you'll understand a little bit more, homie, instead of just saying blatant shit, bro. Because there ain't no, like I said, there's no racist bone in my body, homie. I'm going to speak up for what's right, and I'm gonna clown the falseness, the whack-ass shit that people put out there, bro. You got to learn to respect people. You got to learn to have love for people, homie. You got to learn to have love for people, bro. Because if you don't respect the next man, you know what I'm saying? You ain't going to get far. You ain't going to get far in life. If you don't know respect, you ain't going to get far in life, bro. Shout out to the homies, man. Shout out to the real ones that understand. Shout out to all the homies. You were being called racist because you were calling it. Yeah, bro, I was being called racist, and they started saying, you Southerners, you love our culture, and you love to be us, and then when it's time to, you know what I'm saying, stand on black time, you're not, you know what I'm saying, you don't want no parts of that shit. Like, shut the hell up, bro. That's not what that life was even saying, bro. That's not what that life was even saying. And don't try to put me under the fucking label of a Southerner, homie, because I'm not from California. I'm from Denver, where we don't really have them problems, bro. But I'm speaking on a general manner of respect, homie. You just don't disrespect. Because what if that little fool really wanted it? What if that little fool just felt so disrespected, he kills you walking out, or has somebody slide on you and kill your ass? Then it's going to be a different story, because you didn't know how to be respectful. And people nowadays, you can't put it past people. You can't put it past people, because if somebody's pride gets hurt, and they feel like it's something that they need to ride for, oh yeah, sure, Lee, it might be stupid, but you might lose your life off your disrespectful ass mouth that you could have just shut. Yeah, bro. And everybody that's real understands that. Everybody that's real, but they just seen what I was saying, and they just took it as I was just like going at, I guess, the black community. That's what they were saying, bro. That I was going at the black community as just a Southerner, like the Rasa mindset. And I'm like, bro, you are idiot. Go watch the whole live first. Go watch the whole live before you put judgment on that whole aspect, man. You know? But it is what it is. We're going to live another day. We're going to relax. We're going to eat. We're going to function with the real ones, man. Mall high salute to everybody. Mall high salute to all you guys out there. Shout out to all the real ones and everybody that supports the channel, man. You know, it's been a hard reality with this YouTube shit, bro, too. Like, YouTube just they just do whatever they want. They don't want to ever hear no real shit. They just want the service, bro. That's one thing that irritates me too, is like YouTube. This goes to show you exactly what I always be saying. You say some controversial shit that might have people feel some type of way, YouTube's going to spread that shit, right? But if you just speak about just normal positivity, bro, and you just speak the testimony and there's not too much craziness, YouTube's just going to try to stop the whole algorithm, going to try to stop the flow of shit, bro. Because YouTube's watered down, bro. You know? About to watch this little game, Marado. About to watch this game. Had to come talk to the people. You know what I'm saying? Had to come talk. They said that Savage said was a KKK. That was another thing is too, bro. Is they said that they basically said that I literally am KKK. They said that I was the KKK because I was speaking up on that shit. And I'm like, what? Are you smoking dope? Do you just get up and smoke fentanyl? Do you smoke the pipe? Is that what you do on a regular, homie? Do I look like a KKK? Do I act like a KKK? Have I ever said anything that gives you the interpretation that Savage Sev the Green Knight Bandit, the swole little. They said because I'm kind of swole up, bro. They said because my arms is little and I'm not too tall. I got the Tyrannosaurus Rex arms, homie, but I'm a swole Tyrannosaurus Rex. Do you see that? Do you understand that, brother? Do you understand that shit, fool? Y'all fools is crazy, man. Y'all is crazy, bro. Don't know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Jess. That's what I'm saying, my bro. That's what I'm saying. I'm dead. Hey, shout out to my homie Momo, man. Shout out to the brother right there, bro. That's the homie. They just mad you support Trump. Nah, fool. I like politics is crazy, bro. That drove me crazy too. My energy levels out, bro. It's like, hey, check it out, man. I'm not like a lot of people might just don't understand the savage, bro. Don't say I can be confusing at times. I look at myself and be like, Savage, you are tripping right now. Like you are everywhere. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, bro, it's all about just being real, homie. It's all about being real and just being an authentic ass individual, homie. Because there's busters from everywhere, fool. There's busters from everywhere. There's busters from everywhere. And I'm 40 years old and just understand that, homie. There's bad people in every type of circle, homie. You want to know what's crazy, bro? I always say this, and I know it's not this deep, but my whole life, to be real, to be authentic and 100, when I was younger, homie, if you were Don Move from any neighborhood, I just had a hatred for you. I mean, I did everything in my possibility to cause havoc on fools that were from that side, homie. Not even knowing these dudes, homie. I just had a hatred. If you represented Damu and you was from anywhere that was Damu, bro, I just didn't like you, homie. I just didn't like you just because what you represented. You might have not even had to do anything to me. And there was times, bro, that fools just got the backlash to just my hatred, right? Well, when I went to prison, there was actually Damus that actually showed me more love than some of the lokes, bro. So that's what I'm saying is there's bad and good in every aspect, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like real shit. And you got to open your eyes to shit, bro. Not everybody's just bad from certain things. Like look at people as a single individual, like look at them personally and then make a judgment, not just because they're black and white and Mexican and Asian and this and that, bro. Like, you know. So yeah, man, that's what it is. Now go Broncos. Now, see, that was another thing is too, if you were a Raider fan, I couldn't mess with you back in the day, bro. Like if you were a Raider fan, I'm like, bro, I'm at every given time, I'm going to try to tell you, why do you represent that team that's just always going to fail you? I just didn't understand it. We couldn't have a decent football game that we could watch with each other. No, if you were a Raider fan, I thought you were confused and this and that. And I'm like, bro, I just had a bias, bro. Like if you were a Raider fan, I just thought that you love failment. Like I thought that's what you were in bed. You like that victim mindset. You love failment. I didn't think that you even cared about winning because the Raiders haven't won anything since 1983 and there's no hope for them in the future. But you know what's crazy, homie? Is some of my bestest homies now that support the channel. See, Broncos country. See, I used to think that every Bronco fan was the homie and the brother and the sisters. I used to think that, bro. If you were a Bronco fan, I rock with you. If you represented the logo of Broncos country in blue and orange, I rock with you, bro. But half of the Bronco fans nowadays are so watered down too. Like to be truthful, half of the Bronco, we're going deep, but this is just how my mind works, you know. Half of the Bronco fans I see out there, bro, just I don't know. They don't got the heart of the South Standers, bro. They don't. There's only a few of us, bro. We are few and above the rest, bro. We are a different breed. If you were old school South Standers from the 90s and 80s, and that's what I'm saying, 90s and 80s, bro, 80s, 90s, and the 70s, right? You are a true diehard, a maniac of Broncos country. But the 2000s, early 2000s, and after that, man, it's hard for me to understand if you really are that passionate. And I know a lot of that reason, but just, hey, actions speak louder than words. And I'm just saying, homie, this new watered down shit with this fan base, You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, it's not me. I will never understand it. I could never understand it. But I know some real, you know what I'm saying, some real homies that represent the Raiders. I don't like their team, and I'm still a Raider hater, and it's Raider hater, and I'm always remind, but they actually some decent ass individuals, you know. Shout out to you guys, bro. We went all kinds of topics right now. I'll stay on here for a little bit more because I got to start getting ready for this cookout. The homies coming over. Hey, Jess, are you still here? If you want to come up, bro, and chop it up for a quick second, I'm not going to be too much longer. Anybody can come up, say what's up, bro, and tell us, you know, if you have anything to say on your chest, bro. Even the fools that were actually, you know, making the comments and got kind of irritated. If you want to come talk on the panel, bro, come chop it up. Come state your point of view. Let me know how you feel. Let me know how it is. You know what I'm saying? I like to talk and see where you coming from. Why you thought that? Why was your mindset was on that? You know what I'm saying? Like, why did you think I was a KKK, bro? Why did you think that your boy Savage was a Southerner? How did you, bro? You do know what you're from California. You fools is from Cali, right? You do know what Sureños look like and Southerners look like. I don't look like no damn Southerner. I don't have the presentation of a South Side or a Southerner or, you know what I'm saying, a Sureño. Like, nah, I don't have the SA feel or the look, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't even look like an Edgar, bro. I don't even look like a regular just Mexicano fool. I look like I'm white. People think I'm white, bro. I'm on the phone. Otherwise, I would. Now, you're good. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's why they said you a KKK. Yeah, I want to see what the mindsets are, man. No disrespect. You know what I'm saying? I want to chop it up with the fools that really thought that your boy was the KKK. But yeah, now we got some football cracking, man. We're about to watch this game. I'm glad that football season's back. You know, that's going to be a lot of the aspect of the content too, bro. Is like a lot more sports involved. Man, I just see how YouTube works, though. I see how YouTube works, bro. Like, if it's controversy and it could get an uproar, then fools is going to put it out to the masses. Because to be honest, this right here, what I'm doing is off of is StreamYard. There's no vertical in this. Oh yeah, we're gonna barbecue some wings. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna hit off some nachos, bro. But I'm kind of I'm shredding up though, my homie. I'm shredding up right here. Boom. I had to shred down, man. You know what I'm saying? I had to shred down to about 245 because I was at like 260. And I've been actually doing good on the diet, man. I've been doing good on my routine and structuredness of health. You know, so I don't think I'm gonna be eating too crazy because I want to go get some beers, man. I wanted to go get some brewskis. I've been staying away from beer too, though, you know. So I've been staying away from the beer, bro. You know. So I think yeah, it's crazy, my homie Jess. Let's go, Shaw. You know what it is. Let's go Broncos country. It's always like that, homie. It's always like that. It's like the clown show always hits a different way, and they put that shit out there for people to tap in, bro. But I'm sorry to say, bro, like, I don't want to hear the clown show every single day. Sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's great, sometimes like it's amusing and it's entertaining, bro. But that's not what I like to spend my time around all the time. Is just the clown show, bro. It's the clown show. I like people and different things that feed your soul and feed your mind, homie, and prosper, and you can benefit and gain something off that shit. But as soon as we talk about anything that makes people go in an uproar, you're gonna have the most. And the vertical, why I bring the vertical in, because when you're doing a vertical live, it brings in all kinds of people from everywhere. But I did it off of StreamYard. So this is why I know YouTube pushed it out, because on a regular StreamYard, it's usually just your subs. On a regular StreamYard, you're just going to get your usual subs that come in, and it's going to be your original homies and all your subs. A vertical, you'll get multiple people that never heard about your channel, and they'll come in and they'll see your channel. It's kind of like a TikTok. It's kind of like TikTok, you know. I've been gaining weight. I'm easily 200 pounds. Nice. Yeah. Start putting that muscle on, man. 200, 210 is a good aspect, bro, to start putting on some muscle, you know, putting on muscle. I went from 270. I'm in my 250s now, and I'm trying to get to about 245, just solid chip down, bro, to be honest. Yeah, YouTube pushed out the video, had almost 500. Yeah, and that's a lie, bro. Like, and it was on a StreamYard. That's what just is kind of weird, because StreamYard is not for the universe of YouTube. It's just basically more for your subs. So they pushed it out because it was just talking about different things that people might have want to hear, and they pushed that shit out. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn. Nice. Hey, see, this is the type of stuff I love hearing, homie. My homies that I actually got a genuine relationship with over social media, and the homies that show love, like, all this is good shit, bro. Like, I like to hear this type shit, man. Y'all touching goals, bro. That's kind of the shit I like to be around, because steel sharpens steel, homie. I do too, my brother. I gotta get on my cardio game, homie, because I've been actually about to get back into just full aspect training, bro. Like, you know, full aspect training. That's kind of what I'm doing. Like, boxing, back to boxing, homie, all that shit, sparring, you know, because I've conquered the big aspect of like weightlifting, homie. I got pretty big, 275, like bigger, more swolled up, and I conquered gains, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never thought I was going to be able to hit 405 on the bench press and do a couple reps of that 405, 315 for 7. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of conquered the strength aspect and being a big dude. Now I'm trying to conquer shredding that shit down and being as healthy as I can, cardio wise, stamina. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where it really counts, bro. That's when you know you're healthy, is when you have that stamina and you're chipped down. Not just being huge, and that's overrated. I mean, if you're not competing, it's overrated. It's overrated. Like, to be honest, fools just like the look. But a lot of fools that are slow can't even swing them shoulders because they're so stiff. You know? Why? That's not his name. That's not his real name, but just I mean, you know, separation over time, bro. Like, separation over time. You know, I really, we're in two different aspects of life. We don't glorify the same things. Like, that was my everyday homie when I was growing up. I knew him, you know, for a long time. Like, me and that fool was actually in the trenches together, but I'm on a whole different tip. Successful. I'm trying to stay away from negativity. I can't have that shit in my corner. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even talk to half of my brothers and real cousins because of the negativity that comes with it. Because if you ain't about positivity, bro, and you can't feed me like how to be positive in life, and everything's negative, I don't care if you're my brother, sister, grandma, uncle, mom, even my mom. But my mom's the most positive person in my life, so she's always going to be a part. But I'm just saying, that's just the point. If you want to really touch goals and be like, and you want to touch them goals, you got to eliminate a lot of stuff out your life, bro. That's not gaining you anything. That's not benefiting you positivity. Because if you surround yourself with them and be around them, you're just going to fall to what they fall to, you know? Yeah, it's overrated, homie. It really is overrated. Like I said, a lot of fools that are swolled up and off of tests and steroids, they are not fighting, and they are not lasting in a fight. They're not lasting in the fight. They don't have the cardio to fight. They're just big for no reason, really. They're big for no reason. They don't really have the chunkums. They don't really have combat, because They just think that terrifies everybody. But being that big, when you're that big in your mind, you do, you put a lot of fear in people. Definitely, you put a lot of fear in people. But my and I've done it a lot of times in my whole life, putting fear in people. But that's not my whole goal, to put fear in people. I want to be just fit and healthy, bro. 40 years old, I don't want to, what I'm saying? Putting fear in people, you'll get killed over that shit too, right? I'm the same way, staying away from negativity. Yeah, you have to, my brother. You really do. You really do. We write our own reality, and God knows where we put the pen down. Nice. Yeah, and that's what I always say too, my homie Valdez. Like, what's your legacy, homie? What's your legacy? Is your legacy gonna be something that people after you pass away gonna be? Oh, that fool did a lot for his people, and told the younger generation. Like, are they gonna remember you for having that inspirational mindset and teaching people about positivity and touching success? Or with this gangbanging shit, are they just going to be like, that fool was a rider, he was a real life gangster, he didn't do nothing else but be a gangster? I don't want just that label, bro. I don't want that label. I done conquered having respect from a lot of different things in the streets. Like, that shouldn't benefit me nothing. It didn't benefit me a job. Bro, I'm 40 years old and I have to settle for different jobs that I don't even like because of my mindset, bro. Nah, that's not his name either, bro. That's not his name either. You guys, the ones that try to dox, bro, you guys need it. Yeah, it's not his name, my homie. But you can go off of that, and it's not good to dox. It's not good to dox, bro, but dox the right way. If dox if you have his real name, both of them ain't his real name. Growing up, I don't know what mind over matter meant until I got older and had problems in life. Yeah, bro. Yeah, I don't want them problems no more, homie. I don't want the problems of being a felon because it looks cool. Oh, that fool's a felon. He went to prison, but he can't even get an apartment because he got a felony. Or that fool's a felon. He was a rider. I mean, he got a lot of wins in the streets, and he stands 10 toes down on that prison yard, but he can't even get his own apartment because he got a felon. I don't want them problems no more, bro. I don't want to be at a job and think that the interview went fucking good, homie, and feeling confident, and then they come back and say your background, we can't hire you. You know how demoralizing that shit's been. But that's the reality and traumas of a real life fool that got them problems, homie. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want that shit. If I could erase that shit, I would erase it, bro. I would have started over and just played sports, been a regular ass fool, a civilian. You know what I'm saying, homie? I don't know. You ever fight any MMA dudes on the streets? Yeah, I got slid, homie. I did, or just a straight wrestler. I told the story. I ran up and got to socking on somebody, and he was a bare knuckle champion, homie, and put me on my back quick. I thought I knocked his ass out, but he just got off on me. Like, he ate through the whole. He was dazing, and he was going back, homie, and his eyes was even rolling. But somehow that monster from the MMA fools just came back, and he slid me. Boom! He didn't knock me out, but he put me on my pocket, and I had a big ass hole in my mouth, bro. My tooth almost went through my whole mouth. I could feel my tongue, bro. It literally almost went through my whole mouth, and I was dazed, like, damn. You know what I'm saying? You ever fight? Is Billy back? I really don't know, my bro. I don't even know Billy personally. I mean, like, put it in this perspective, homie. If you're from a certain neighborhood and different, if he's from a certain neighborhood, he grew up, most likely, if it was gang banging out there, he probably has ties to the North Daniels somehow. I don't know. I can't say if he does or not, but if he grew up in that neighborhood and he's officially from that neighborhood, sometimes you're guilty by association. So even if you weren't banging, you might have to get down because what neighborhood you from. And when I say neighborhood, the area, people are gonna identify you as that anyways. Columbine? What is the Columbine? Like Columbine projects or the Columbine High School? Are you talking about Columbine High School? The Columbine High School or the Columbine projects. I don't even know, bro. I know Columbine High School, though. That's just like over there in Littleton. So, yeah, there ain't really no gang banging over there. But that was the trench coat mafia fools, man, back in the day in the 90s. In the 90s, really. If so, I need a story time. Drop the cash app. I got you, Rada. I got you. I'm gonna hit you, Valdez. I'll hit you. I'm gonna hit you. I got you though, bro. Shout out to the homies, man. Shout out to the real ones though. Trench coat. Yeah, they was. I mean, that was some shit, bro. Like them fools was kind of like cowards, bro. Really, them fools was cowards. I mean, they got beat up, but they got bullied. I mean, they came back and tried to shoot up everybody because the bullies, but they focused in on different things, and they could have just been, you know what I'm saying, training to be healthy and stronger, bro. And I don't think they would have got bullied, but that was unfortunate because a lot of young kids died off of bullying, you know. A lot of kids just died, homie. They went out like some cowards, shot theirself too. What the hell? Them fools took their self out. If you're gonna do some shit like that, bro, have more balls, homie. Don't off yourself. Don't just commit suicide. You know what I'm saying? Deal with them consequences. Go with a shootout. You know what I'm saying? With the fools that are coming for you. Don't just off yourself. You a coward for that shit. But yeah, I'm gonna tap out, Rodders. Tap out for the night, man. I'm gonna get ready for this. Get ready for this Bronco game. We're gonna see what the Broncos do, how much work they put in. We'll see what Bo Nix, see if Bo Nix is gonna put in some work with the first stringers. He had him a day in practice, but that's practice. That's practice. So we don't know. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna see, man. But we got football back, people. It's a good time of the year, man. It's a good time of the year, and it's gonna be a beautiful football season. You know, it's gonna be a beautiful football season. Last thing I'm gonna say, and I'm out. I'm gonna say this, bro. Let's turn the subject. And if you're not a football fan, you ain't gotta stay for this. I'm gonna speak on one last thing that I have to say. I have to say this, bro. And you could join in. It doesn't matter if you Bronco hater or what. Check this out, bro. And I said this on TikTok. Broncos country got people mad right now, right? Because everybody's stoked about this season. Everybody's stoked about this season. And we have all the right to do this. We have all the right to be stoked because of the season last year and what we're doing this season coming up. The additions, the off-season additions, everything the Broncos have put into play. It doesn't matter about last week and Bo Nix having struggled. Man, it's preseason. Like, you fools are just like going too far with a bust and all this. It's preseason. Stop it. Relax. But to all you hating ass fools out there, man, that just hate on the Bronco fans for being happy and we turned up for Broncos country, you know what, bro? Go play in traffic. We can do what we want. We went to the playoffs. We took the Bengals spot in the playoffs. You just sit your grumpy ass, bitter beer face outside and watch the Broncos put in this work. And all the rivals out there, bro, you know I'll be on you. Kansas City Quee fans, bro, stop it, bro. Just know it's coming. It's equaling out. And I know, you know what I'm saying? I know you guys are feeling the pressure of almighty Broncos country coming for that top spot. You can't do nothing to stop it. Your defense is booty cheeks. There's nothing that they're going to be able to do when Bo Nix gets it rolling with these wide receivers in this run game. Your defense sucks. You obviously just suck on the defense side of the ball. And when this defense start really feeling themselves, bro, your offensive line ain't going to be able to protect this defensive line that we got with Broncos country. So, yes, it's creeping. Broncos country's coming for the top spot. The other dudes, Chargers and the Raiders, bro, I know I get on you, bro, but I'm not even really even like, y'all already missed your opportunity. Y'all missed your spot. Y'all missed your opportunity. And the door is closing for you dudes, man. It doesn't matter what talent you have. Door closed, bro. You had your opportunity and decided not to walk through the door of success in the playoffs. So now you got Broncos country feeling their South, homie, and we're here to stay. And we're not going to stop this, because when we were down, you guys decided to kick us when we were down. You guys just literally just hated the Broncos and just trashed the Broncos every given time the Broncos messed up. You guys reminded us every time. And now we got that voice back. We feel that horsepower. And people don't like this. They're like, you guys are too cocky. You guys are too confident. You gonna deal with this. And there's nothing you could do about it, because when it starts going and fully matter, you think we're bad now. You think I'm bad now. Watch when this shit starts playing out. Oh, there's gonna be people that are on sub from the channel. There's gonna be people that are like, Savage, just he be going overboard and this and that. And my whole time, I've been having to deal with Broncos being bad, right? And I still kept the flame lit, but I didn't have really much to say. I couldn't say none, but it's still Broncos country. My time being on YouTube, if the Broncos win a Super Bowl and I still got this YouTube channel, oh, bro, y'all gave me some firepower, homie. Y'all gave me the firepower. Y'all ignited the flame of Savage Sev, and it's here to stay, homie. But I love all y'all, man. I'm all high salute to the riders. Let's go, bro. Hey, to the next one, man. You see that right there? You see that right there? You know the logo. Hey, shout out to all you guys, bro. I'll talk to y'all. Let's go. One.